What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol CRM for Salesforce.com. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, I need to point out that they gave us an earnings announcement after the bell today, so let's flip on the extended hour session and see what's going on with the number. And my goodness, look at that nastiness. I'm sure you could see it from a mile away before I even got into the chart here. And what you'll notice is that we have what will very likely be a gap down for tomorrow's session. So we of course want to know where the overnight low is, the forecasted open, and while we're here, we may as well mark off the low of today's session. And again, remember, these numbers can change by the time 9:30 bell actually comes around, but what we're about to discuss is a framework to help us navigate this move and how it may potentially unfold. So number one, whenever we're dealing with a gap in either direction, could be up or down, is the gap and trap. And what that looks like would be opening here, failing to find new sellers underneath the overnight low, trading back long through the open for a move into the close, right? Basically closing that gap overhead, trapping anyone down here who essentially thought that the move had to be short because we were gapping down, right? That's always scenario number one, and that's how it pans out. Scenario number two is the continuation play. This is the one that I'm sure more people are looking forward to, but oftentimes doesn't pan out. And that would be if we open here, put in some sort of bearish acceptance down below, could look like a bear flag, so something that looks like this, could look something like a descending triangle, so lower highs, flat lows, flush the overnight low to take us into the next obvious area of daily support. So let's go fishing for that together. I would start to be gravitated towards this area at 252. Now that's a significant ways down underneath us, and if we look at the average range of kind of what CRM does, it's not completely off the table. However, the odds of a candlestick like this printing, not as high as something like this or kind of something like this. It would favor a move that's not quite all the way there, and that brings into sort of view this area right here at 261. Could potentially be a candlestick that looks like this. If it goes lower, we're kind of in no man's land in between ranges there, but 261 should definitely be on your radar as well. And to the upside, the same thing applies, right? It's not very likely that we'll put in a daily bar that immediately reverses everything just based on the ranges, right? On some of the more impressive days here inside of CRM, like on today's session to the downside, which was extraordinary selling conditions, we had a 15-point range. And obviously, to the upside, we have more than that if we're looking at, this in terms of, moving lower to the overnight low and then rebounding off of it, right? So all things considered, it's not very likely that the gap closes all in one day, but as always, anything is possible in the market. So what we want to do is search for the half gap, right? So let's go ahead and grab that together, forecasting the opens here. That would mean the gap is something like this. Half gap puts you at 275.75. I would just say 275 even. Also noting that if we look left here, look at how this is just a thing of beauty. 276, 275.75. Let's just go with it actually and call it as it is. Big shelf of resistance from in the past led to a nice little breakout. So I would forecast that as a resistance area as well to be paying attention to. Just to quickly recap, scenario number one here is the gap and trap. So opening here, failing to take out the overnight low, trading long through the open to get into target one, then target two here. That's scenario number one, the one that I will personally be looking for on the bell tomorrow morning. Scenario number two would be opening here, bearish consolidation, could be a flag, could be a descending triangle, could be a number of things, flush the overnight low to get into 261, and from there monitor for continuation into about 252.15. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comment section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.